Welcome, my cheerful friends. If today's joke made you smile, click that subscribe button. It's a small gesture that guarantees more jokes, just like this one. Don't miss last one that is special joke for you. Everyone asked a 100-year-old man and his 98-year-old wife for their health secrets. The old man said, "I'll tell you my secret. I've been married for 75 years. I promised my wife when we got married that when we quarrel, the loser has to walk for 5 kilometers. So I've been walking 5 kilometers every day for past 75 years. Everyone applauded and asked again, "But how come your wife is very healthy as well?" The old man answered, "That is another secret. For 75 years, every single day, she has been following me to make sure I really walk the full 5 kilometers. A 95-year-old man and his 94-year-old wife see a lawyer about a divorce. The lawyer asks them when they got married. "I was 19, says the man. "That means you've been married for 75 years at least," the lawyer points out. "Yes, and all of it misery," says the woman. "Really? When did you start to regret the marriage?" "Almost immediately," says the man. "I hated her after about 2 years, and every year it gets worse. Everything about her is obnoxious and irritating." "Oh, Lord," says the woman. "I lasted 3 years, but after that, tolerating him in any way has been a huge problem. He has awful habits and treats me like trash." The lawyer thinks for a moment. "Well, I can help you to get divorced, but why did you wait so long to apply for one if you've hated each other the whole time?" She says, "We were waiting for the children to die." An 80-year-old man married a 20-year-old girl, and after a year she gave birth in a hospital. The nurse congratulated the fellow. "This is amazing. How do you do it at your age?" He answered, "You've got to keep that old motor running." The following year she gave birth again. The same nurse said, "You really are amazing." "What's the secret?" He again said, "You've got to keep the old motor running." The same thing happened the next year. The nurse said, "You must be quite a man." He responded, "You've got to keep that old motor running." The nurse then said, "Well, you had better change the oil. This one's black." An old man is selling watermelons. His price list reads 1 for $3 and 3 for $10. A young man stops by and asks to buy 1 watermelon. "That'd be $3, says the old man. The young man then buys another one, and another one, paying $3 for each. As the young man is walking away, he turns around, grins, and says, "Hey, old man, do you realize I just bought 3 watermelons for only $9? Maybe business is not your thing." The old man smiles and mumbles to himself, "People are funny. Every time they buy 3 watermelons instead of 1, yet they keep trying to teach me how to do business." An 88-year-old man came to the hospital and said to the doctor, "Doctor, my 18-year-old wife is pregnant with my child." The doctor paused and said, "There was a master bear shooter in a village. He never missed a shot, but one day he was in a hurry and took his umbrella instead of his rifle by mistake. When he encountered a bear, he still didn't realize his mistake and pointed the umbrella and shot the bear. The bear lay dead with a bullet in his heart." The old man said, "That's stupid. The bullet must have been shot by another person." "That's exactly right," said the doctor. A lawyer calls up a plumber to come out to his house. The plumber takes a look and says, "Okay, I can fix it today, and it will be $800. The lawyer raises an eyebrow and asks, "How long will it take?" The plumber responds, "Well, I need about an hour's round trip to the supply house for a part, and then it should take me about an hour for the repair." The lawyer smirks and says, "2 hours for $800? That's $400 per hour. I'm a lawyer and my hourly rate is $350 an hour." The plumber nods and says, "Yes, sir, I understand. Why do you think I gave up my law practice?" 2 new friends are robbing a house. One of them is upstairs, and after dropping a big lamp, he hears the home's owner get up to investigate the noise. As he gets close, the robber goes, "Eow," imitating a cat. Then he hears the guy grumbling, God damn it, stupid cat, and goes back to bed. When he meets his accomplice downstairs who asks him what that noise was, he says, "Dude, we almost got caught because I dropped a lamp and the guy woke up. Fortunately, I made him believe it was the cat." So after a few minutes, the other robber then goes upstairs to continue checking for valuables. But he knocks over a bookshelf that crashes to the ground. He panics when he hears the homeowner getting up to investigate, so he hides in the closet. The owner enters the room and yells, "Who's there?" So the newbie in the closet answers, it's the cat." A man goes to his friend's house and knocks on the door. The wife responded and only had a towel on her. The man looks at her and says, "Is your husband here?" She said, "Yes, he's taking a bath." The man, "I'll give you $100 if you drop the towel." Wife, "You are crazy. I would never do that." The man, "I'll give you $250 if you drop it." Wife, "I told you no. What do you want?" The man, "Okay, $500. Wife thinks and says, "Okay, but fast." She drops the towel, and the man gives her the $500 and tells her, "Thank you. Tell your husband I'll be back later." The wife walks in, and the husband asks who it was. Wife, "It was John looking for you, but he says he's coming later." Husband, "Oh, did he give you the $500 that he owes me?" A guy goes with his girlfriend to stay at her parents' house for the holidays. The couple live in the city and the parents live on a farm. The boyfriend is unused to the quiet country life, and after a couple of days, he's pretty bored. His girlfriend's father comes in and says, "Hey, young fella, if you're looking for something to do, why not take the dogs out for a bit of hunting? There's a shotgun behind the laundry door." Guy comes back a couple of hours later and the father says, "How was it?" "That was amazing. Have you got any more dogs?" A farmer drove over to his neighbour's house and knocked on the door. A boy about 9, as about saying, opened the door. "Is your mum or dad home?" The farmer asked the boy. "No, they went into town." The boy replied. "Well, how about your brother Howard?" The farmer asked. "No, he went with mum and dad." The boy said. The farmer stood there for a minute, shifting from one foot to another and mumbling when the boy says, "I know where the tools are if you need to borrow one, or I could give my dad a message for you." "Well," the farmer said uncomfortably, "I wanted to talk to your dad about your brother Howard getting my daughter pregnant." The boy thought for a moment, then said, "You'll have to talk to my dad about that. I know he charges $500 for the bulls and $150 for the pigs, but I have no idea how much he charges for Howard." A young New York woman was so depressed, she decided to end her life by throwing herself into the ocean. Just before she could throw herself from the docks, a handsome young man stopped her. "You have so much to live for," he said. "I'm a sailor, and we are off to Italy tomorrow. I can stow you away on my ship. I'll take care of you, bring you food every day, and keep you happy. When we get to Italy, you will be so glad you're alive." With nothing to lose and always wanting to see Italy, she accepted. That night, the sailor brought her aboard and hid her in a small but comfortable compartment in the ship's hold. From then on, every night, he would bring her sandwiches, a bottle of red wine, and make love to her until dawn. 2 weeks later, she was discovered by the captain during a routine inspection. "What are you doing here?" asked the captain. "I have an arrangement with a sailor," she replied. "He brings me food and I get a free trip to Italy." "I see," the captain says. Then her conscience got the best of her and she added, "Plus, he's screwing me." "He certainly is," replied the captain. "This is the Staten Island ferry." On his 74th birthday, an old man received a gift certificate from his wife. The certificate paid for a visit to a medicine man living on a nearby reservation who was rumoured to have a wonderful cure for erectile dysfunction. After being persuaded to go, he drove to the reservation, handed his ticket to the medicine man, and wondered what he was in for. The old man handed a potion to him, and with a grip on his shoulder, warned, "This is a powerful medicine. You take only a teaspoon and then say 1, 2, 3. When you do, you will become more manly than you have ever been in your life, and you can perform as long as you want." The man was encouraged. As he walked away, he turned and asked, "How do I stop the medicine from working?" "Your partner must say 1, 2, 3, 4, the medicine man responded. "But when she does, the medicine will not work again until the next full moon." The man was very eager to see if it worked, so he went home, showered, shaved, took a spoonful of the medicine, and then invited his wife to join him in the bedroom. When she came in, he quickly took off his clothes and said, 1, 2, 3. Immediately he was the manliest of men. His wife was excited and began throwing off her clothes as she asked, "What was the 1, 2, 3, 4?" And that, boys and girls, is why we should never end our sentences with a preposition, because we could end up with a dangling participle.